Oh, the humiliation ritual that is Temptation Island, Netflix's season 1. Oh my god. Oh, I'm excited to talk about it. I am. Okay, my name is Rusenica. Welcome to this casual channel where we talk anything, like anything casual or monumental as it relates to life's events, life's TV shows. Today, we're going to be talking about the humiliation ritual that is Temptation Island. I want to talk about the standout moments of this, the things that stood out to me. What stands out to me may not stand out to you. Drop a comment as to what you thought of the season. Drop a comment as to who you felt was most relatable, who you hated the most. Grant, duh. Everybody's gonna hate Grant the most. What you thought about Mark Wahlberg, not that Mark, you know what I mean. Let me know how you're feeling. Please interact with this video because it helps out my channel so much. Oh my god, people say that, but it means something for real. Because no one's gonna see this because this show came out like a million years ago. So if you could, I would appreciate it. Help my channel a lot. Anyway, so I wanted to talk the concept, the host, the shenanigans everybody gets into, and then also talk kind of couple by couple. So if you don't know what Temptation Island is about, which is like, come on. Come on, you probably do. You probably know exactly what's going on. Netflix pretty much just like picked out kind of above average attractive 20 somethings to 30 somethings from wherever the heck they came from, these couples that like are like more attractive than the average person, but you kind of feel like the peaked in high school energy from them. Am I wrong, or is that mean? And they put them on this island to be tempted by tempters, boy tempters and temptresses. And basically when they're in this island, they get tempted by these people. The Netflix cameras are spying on them. They are separated by gender. So like the girl partners stay together and the boy partners stay together. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I fear I'm not going to do a good job of explaining it, but they're separated by gender. Netflix hires tempters and temptresses, and Netflix is basically like recording 24/7. Every couple of nights there are bonfires that these couples attend, and they see what their partner is doing on the other side of the island to see if they're cheating on them. Temptation Island. So and there are a bunch of little twists and turns throughout the thing. I'm assuming you probably knew that going in and you just want to hear me talk shit about what's going on, because I also am dying to just hear people talk about this, even though it's literally like it's so late for me to be doing this. But honestly, I was a little embarrassed. Like, this show was embarrassing for everyone. Okay, the show was embarrassing for the people who went on, like the couples trying to test each other. It's embarrassing for like them, their friends and family to just like view this. But it's embarrassing for the tempters. It's embarrassing for the host. It's embarrassing most of all, I think, for the audience. Like, we are sitting here watching this like garbage because we're kind of admitting to ourselves like we love to watch the downfall of other people, and we love to sit in the judgment seat playing God, being like, wow, I'm better than, like, morally I'm better than that. Let's go into each couple. We immediately get introduced to all of the couples, and you like, I got so excited because I was like, this is gonna be fun because all of these couples, like, seemingly, I don't know if this is too mean to say, but like a lot of these couples are my last two brain cells on this island. But there is one kind of respectable couple that really won the season. Everyone else lost. They lost. Like, they did lost, except for one couple. And you know which one I'm talking about. Because I was going to start off with Grant and Ashley, but let's not start off and then go downhill from Shante and Brion. I hate to see black people losing. I really do. Oh my god. This was so embarrassing for the black community. This was so embarrassing for the stereotypes that just seem to keep putting us down. We have Shante and Brion. They're on this island because Brion is like an evolved, mature woman. Sorry, did I say that Brion was an evolved, mature woman? I meant to say Shante. Okay, I don't know if I was correct or not. And Brion is just this man who is just like like, knows how attractive he is. That's the problem with a lot of these people, is like, don't date somebody don't date a man who knows that he can abuse his physical attractiveness, okay? It's so sad. Anyway, so she's kind of like more mature, more evolved, is like sold on him. He is somebody who is more invested into sexual exploration. The main thing that they talk about through this whole entire series is about the fact that like he really wants a threesome and she really doesn't. Oh my god! That is enough to just, I would throw myself over the edge if my mom saw. So yeah, that's their whole entire thing. That's their whole thing, dude. I'm just gonna talk about like what the heck happens kind of as couple by couple. So he's like, I really want a threesome. I really like chocolate women. I really like blah blah blah. So I'm here to test myself to see if I can be friends with women, even though this is my storyline that I really like sexualizing women, and I like sexualizing them in threesomes, in pairs of two. And she's just like, I just really love him, so I just need I just need to prove it to myself that, or I need him to prove it to me that he can do this for me. Oh, that lasts about like a couple days, like maybe by episode 3. You know what, dude? It's like really actually hard. Spoiler? Not spoiler, because if you like whatever, you're watching me talk about this whole entire thing, okay? This was just really disappointing because this whole entire time she's just so in love with him, and he's just so, his priorities are so different than hers. Oh my god, his priorities are so different than hers. It's, you even think to yourself like, how are you guys together at all? Apparently they met at church. From there they just like spark. It's crazy, dude. Because she's just too wholesome for him. Not whole, is he wholesome even the word? Because I don't even know how wholesome she is, but she is just not interested in the things he was interested in. And he's way too flirty. He's also very judgmental of other people when he doesn't get what he wants. Bratty. At the very end, they have this moment where Mark is like, tell us a little bit about your background. He's like, well, I was put into the foster care system at 2. I was abused. Just all these things that like give context. But I feel like it was a little bit too late. Like it was at a point where it's like, it's like one of those things where you want to so badly. I wanted to so badly, like, feel for this man, talking about the fact that he has gone through all of these things, that he, like was never really shown proper love. And then Mark is like, yeah, how could you show proper love when you've never been shown it? How can you give proper love when you've never been shown it? But it's like, it's just a little too damn late, Mark, for you to be asking these questions. I'm sorry. Because it's like, have you seen that one TikTok that's like, you probably haven't, but we all know of this concept of like, God forbid a man ever does anything wrong to me because I now have to hear about what happened to him when he was 7. Like, that is what the show is, dude. That is what the show is. It's literally just like men like taking on their like internal and external struggles from like the partners around them and being like, dang, now you made me cheat on you. Now you made me cheat on you. I think that Shante is also in the headspace that like she probably thinks she maybe can't do better. But at a certain point, it's like, well, if you really want him, girl, go after him. I wish you the best. I truly do, even though it's not sticking, right? We know it's not sticking. I want to feel bad for you because you seem so sweet, but you're kind of letting yourself be a little bit walked all over, to the point where he was literally like, oh man, so I fell for the threesome. You know what? I think I'm doing okay, but like, I guess I did kind of break the whole thing that we talked about where I had a 3. Like, would reason things out with himself and then eventually be like, I think she'll forgive me. Oh! First, he doesn't regret it because he's like, at least I got out of my system, type vibe. Who am I? Anyway, he's like, at least I got out of my system. And then he feels bad because he sees footage of her crying, and he's like, oh shoot, now I have regret. Oh my god, I've never felt this before. Like, I swear some of these guys are feeling regret and empathy for the first time ever on this show. Shante, I really want better for her, and I think the whole world does too. But it's also like, you made your bed. And it's embarrassing because they ended up like going with each other. Oh my lord. He didn't prove anything to you. Like, he maybe proved that he has regret and empathized and didn't want to lose you. He wanted his cake and to eat it too, and he got that. Next, you know what? Let's pick things up. Let's pick things up and let's talk about Alexa and Leno. Beautiful, beautiful people. Honestly, I don't have really too much to say other than the reason that they're on the island is because she had a little cheating discretion. I love when a woman cheats. Not really, you know what I mean? Like, it's so much more redeemable when a woman cheats than a man because, like, a woman will cheat and then actually, well, that's a generalization, okay? That's a generalization. A woman similar to Alexa will cheat, openly have like conversations about it and like work through things and be for real. Whereas I feel like the men on this season will cheat and be like, well, that only happened because when I was 3, you know? Anyway, Alexa, beautiful girl. She is trying to like, she's not really trying to come in to like test herself, but she kind of wants to test things out with Leno to see if like they're going to be ready to take the next step. And she kind of has this little internal battle of like leaning into I guess the girl boss of it all, of like I could do this without him. Like, do I really need him this whole entire time? And he's like hearing her being like, why does she keep saying that she doesn't need me? Like, that's really hurting my feelings. But I'm gonna lean into this process. It's so weird because they're like what you would consider the boring couple, because I would find myself watching them being like, nothing is gonna happen here, like whatever, dude. But if you were gonna go on the show, you would want to end up like them, because I think they actually had internal struggle and internal battle and ended up being the only couple that you could actually look up to. I really don't have much to say about them other than, dang, like if you were gonna go on the show, you better end up like them, or else it's so embarrassing. Embarrassing. And I don't think that he really was like tempted at all. I think he really just went on the show because for the hell of it, really. Like Taylor and Tyler. Taylor and Tyler. This one was actually really interestingly difficult because I think that the most relatable person on this show wasn't even Shante. I think it was Taylor, because Taylor is with this man who's like, from the first moment they are like meeting the tempters, and Tyler kind of messes up and it's like, thank you, dear. Wasn't that him? Was that him? Am I getting incorrect? Am I not correct? I don't know. And she's like, why would you have to call him, why would you have to call her dear? Like, I'm so tired of people having to prove things to me. Like, I don't want you to prove this to me, I just want you to be there for me. Oh my god, that was tough, because I think that a lot of girls are in that position when they're in situationships of like, I'm so tired. Can you just like take this for? Can you just be like great for? Can you just like be relied upon? Like from that minute, it was hard because I think that she really does wear her heart on her sleeve. That it's hard to watch because I think that she's mean as well, but like she's not mean. She's just really heavily critical and like can be a little mean and like a little too much, but you know exactly where she's coming from. Like Taylor and Tyler's main thing is that did he have like a cheating thing, or like he got out of like a marriage young? Did he cheat on her? I feel like maybe he did, but I can't remember, right? But like they've had some like issues with each other. One of the main things is he doesn't like that he doesn't have a job. Ugh, and hasn't had a job for like the past year or so, and he's doing like little creative endeavors, and she wants to like have stability and things, but he's not giving it to her. At one point she's like ranting to one of the tempers being like, he has bitch tendencies. That is not funny. Like, that's rough. He has, just say that your partner has bitch tendencies on like national television. That's so tough. But I mean, honestly, I think I have described men like that before, because it just, sometimes you just got, man, how it is. But it's so tough to hear because it's like, ugh, that's like coming from a place of hurt. It's coming from a place of like disappointment and like deep emotional something. Anger is down there. I related to her, even though I don't have like a lot of similar experiences to her, but I saw the emotion that comes from her and like really felt it. And Tyler also just was like horrible from like episode like 2 or 3. He was like, I'm gonna try to prove this to my girl. I'm gonna try to prove it. And then one girl like brushes up against him, and he's like, oh shoot, now I gotta cheat on my girl. Now I gotta cheat on my girl, and then he cheats on her the whole time. It was pretty immediate how quickly they broke up, and then about how like it was understood that they just weren't together. You know, she's kind of ranting openly about the fact that like, yeah, bitch tendencies, he hasn't been paying rent, he blah blah blah. And then he's like, you know what, whatever, I'm not even gonna be constructive about this, I'm just gonna go destruction. And then he just ends up with K or whatever the heck. Dude. That was also another thing that made me think about this show, was like, for you're falling for these people that are like placed in front of you, but like what part of you was being so for real about the situation, being like, these people are placed in front of me. I could never, like, can you imagine the feeling of like knowing that people are just placed in front of you, and then all of a sudden you end up catching feelings for somebody that's placed in front of you? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how to say it better. I just feel like this whole thing is embarrassing also because it's like, you're like trying to like cheat, but it's with somebody who's been hired for the show that's like meant to make you do that. And so the cuddling with Kay thing just felt like she's like there for you, like to do that. Like, you're in a simulation. You're in a simulation. Him and Grant are especially just like very destructive and odd, because I just feel like they have such little self-awareness, and then they go out and like project and like do things that are very destructive and bad, and then without self-reflecting they'll just be like, you know what, it's because she just wants too much of me. And it's like, you're like, no one made you cheat. Like, no one made. And then at one point, like, they're like cheating on each other back. No, I think it was Ashley and Grant. Let's go into Ashley and Grant. I am shocked these people exist. I'm truly shocked that like somebody like Grant, that we honestly have been so blessed to experience somebody with this much toxicity on our Netflix screen. It's been a while since I've seen a villain such as this that is playing right into Netflix's hand and being like the hateable, like makes all of the mistakes archetype that he is. Although it's hard for me to comprehend like the type of people that these are, like that they actually exist. We also know people that are like this, like exactly like this. Like, we all know that one couple that like should not be together, should have never been together, should have just been a situationship and broke it off, but they end up being Ashley and Grant, the most toxic couple that you know. Ashley and Grant. Grant, I can't even remember what his career was. I just know that he's a dad, I guess. And I don't know why, but it makes sense. I could see him on Teen Mom for sure. Can't you? And then I could also be like, I feel like people like Ashley also be looking like they're on Teen Mom too. I don't know if that made any sense to you. So they are the couple that is working through cheating, because Grant has cheated on Ashley in the past, and it was like a couple months into the relationship. It's bad news bears. It's bad news bears if you are working past being cheated on within the past couple months. Woo! Girly pop. Like, and you know, I want to even be like, I feel bad for Ashley because she got stuck with this person who's so garbage. But you know, at a certain point, like, you put yourself in it. I hate to victim blame, I guess. Ashley and Grant, they start off being like, I just want you to prove it to me that you can do this. And he's like, I promise. Literally looks around episode like 2 or 3 is like, well, yes, I'm gonna cheat on you. I'm gonna cheat on you, even though I told you I wasn't going. That's also the other thing, is like, dude, these men act like they have no idea that they like made these promises to these women when they came on the show. And they're just like, well, I had to work on this for myself. They like the way that some of these people justify these actions that they're doing, especially Brion. Brion being like, I had to get out of my system. Oh my god. This is why we say the bar is in hell. This is why I say I think I hate men. This is why, like, because things like this are just said out their mouth, and then these guys don't hold their friends accountable, and they just be saying stuff. Especially Mark, but also Mark just sits there and is like, you know what? It's because you never had love shown to you. Okay. Grant, dude. It's weird because he's such garbage, but then also people be trash collectors too. People be trash collectors. They're just so much like volatile, like reactive. situations going on, I was just dying. You know, it gets to a point where you're just like dying for the women to just cheat back. And you're like, oh my god, just cheat back. Like I at some point I was like, Shante, just get into a threesome with anyone you can find. Like anyone you can find, because he won't forgive you the way you'll forgive him. Like I literally don't even know what to say about Ashley and Grant other than the fact that like they're volatile. And it was very interesting and crazy to watch. Apparently, after the show, they because they didn't leave together. They didn't leave together. I think that like Ashley left with like what's his name, mullet person, Danny, and then he left alone. On Vile Files, because Vile Files was the one to host this stupid reunion. Can we stop? I don't want to support that man. Okay, I don't want to give Vile Files my click because I just feel like everything he says, I'm like, no. And I wish that they had their own reunion, but I had to watch it through Vile Files because that was the only place that they had a reunion on. Ashley and Grant hooked up after the show. And like we're like working through things and stuff and eventually broke up, but it's like, Ashley, I can't feel bad for you. We can't feel bad for you if you keep putting yourself in this position. But can we though? I don't know. I want to, but I can't. Like I fear I don't have much to say. I want to go on more tangents about them. Please drop any tangents in the comments that I may have left out. But oh, I also completely forgot, dude. The amount of times I say dude in an episode, in a video is insane. Uh the whole hut thing, the whole like we're going to put a little hut for you so that you can avoid the cameras. Diabolical. And I was here for it. It was crazy insane. I loved it, but it was also so sad to be to watch these people be cheating and cheating back. And then you're like seeing the lights and you're like, yeah, but you're like, I am thriving off of the world's worst energy. God. Dude. You know what is also crazy? Did I say this? That like I feel like Marky Mark. That's a different person. I feel like Mark Wahlberg. At first, I thought he was too wholesome to play in this role, and it was like supposed to be held by a Nick Cannon type. But that would just make the show 10 times more garbage. Nick Cannon himself would somehow either turn into a tempter or impregnate a temptress. So it needs to be somebody like Mark Wahlberg because we know that he is supposed to provide the wholesomeness of the show, right? Mm-hmm. Let me know what you thought about this season. Let me know anything I potentially left out. There's probably a lot because I was just going off my head. I wasn't going off like anything specific. I have like notes about the couples, but I was not digging into until episode 5 like other people are. Yeah, let me know what you thought about this season. Let me know what you think about Temptation Island. Let me know if I should be doing any other videos because I really just go off anything that fascinates me about media. But I'm open to other people's suggestions. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day it is, I need to shorten that. I hope you have an amazing, valuable morning, afternoon, or night.